Hi, everyone. My name is Tamra Cajo, and I am the director of the Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder Clinic at the Florida Center. And this is my good friend Sylvester. He's a sloth. He's going to be joining me today for a special webinar called Helping Children Build Mindfulness. And this is part of our series of the Children's Mental Health Awareness Week. So I'm super excited to have you here and to learn about mindfulness. So what we're going to talk about today is, what is mindfulness? How is it different working with mindfulness with children than adults? And what are some fun ways to do mindfulness with your kids from my friend Sylvester? He's got some ideas. So let's start now. What is mindfulness? So you might have heard about this, you might have not. So I'm just going to tell you, first of all, just the 101, what is this all about? So really, the rules of mindfulness are simple. It's so simple, yet so complicated at the same time. It is a practice, and I'm going to keep on saying a practice, because this is not something that you just got. This is something like you're going to the gym and training your mind to do certain things, okay? And that is especially true with kids when we're talking of practice, because their brains are just developing and they're really figuring this out, so they need to practice a lot. It's not going to be one time and they've got it. So it's the practice of being present, being in the present moment. So we're not talking about the past, we're not talking about the future. You're practicing noticing what is going on in the here and now. So noticing what's going on with your body, noticing what's going on with your thoughts, noticing what's going on in the room, noticing as a parent maybe what's going on with you. And this is the key thing: without judgment. So you are not noticing yourself and judging you. You are not noticing your child and judging that child. It is completely without judgment. And what you do with that is that you find an anchor. And so what that means is we all have a mind of our own, children, adults. So I might have a thought and it's going 50 million different places. It's like, I'm at peace out, I'm over there. But what keeps us straight is finding an anchor to keep us there. So with kids, there could be lots of different anchors. There's breathing, there could be saying a specific word. There's great apps out there that you can just watch something. It could be so many different things out there to help them get back to being focused, to be grounded. And the great thing, another thing with mindfulness with kids, which is a little bit different, is really it's teaching you also imagination, and you can use creativity to really bring mindfulness to the world of a child. All right? So let's begin. Now let's talk. I talked a little bit about why mindfulness is different for kids, but I'm going to get a little bit more into it. So as I said before, kids are just learning. They're little petals. Their brain is like between 0 and 5, about 95% of their brain is being developed. So everything is a new experience. And the way they learn is through relationships. For example, Sylvester didn't learn by himself. No, we learned it together. Yep, that's right. We learned it together. So this is going to be important, that we're not going to just tell a child, go breathe by yourself. No, this is something that they're doing with their parents. The one beautiful thing with kids actually is they're just authentically living in the moment. So they're actually so primed for this that it's really us adults that are around the child that need to kind of get back to living in the moment. They're thinking, I'm really happy, I'm really sad, I'm really noticing the sounds around me. They're noticing everything. And so what we want to do is really kind of hone in on that without judgment. This is not about, so I think we have this fantasy that this is going to happen, that a child's going to learn mindfulness and they're going to, when they're really upset, they're going to go in the corner and they're going to meditate and they're going to sit still. Well, Sometimes that may happen, but other times that may be really, really, really difficult to do. And so it's going to be really important to know, where is that child developmentally? What is realistic, based on where they are? And it's not always about that sitting down and meditating. It's really about that mindset of slowing down and putting a pause on things. That's why Sylvester, who's a sloth, as you know, is so wonderful with this, because he's got a special power of going super slow. The research is showing, and I won't get into too much of it, there are so many reasons why this is such a big deal. So first of all, I don't know how many times I'm talking to parents and be like, he's getting mad, I can't calm down. And you're right, he can't calm down. So what mindfulness is really doing is teaching them what they should be doing and helping them while they're learning about self-regulation to actually be able to eventually, with practice, to be able to calm down. It's about helping them become non-judgmental, because we live in a judgmental world. So there's just, the list can go on and on. So now I'm going to end with some fun things. And like I said, when you're dealing with mindfulness and finding that anchor, is really about just using your creativity. And another thing is, when you're teaching this, remember, they may not like this right away. So that's okay. So you switch it up and you use your creativity to figure out some other ways. So what I'm going to do right now is just give you some creative ideas of ways that you can learn different kinds of breathing, different ways of noticing for kids. So one of my favorite things to do with Sylvester is actually a sloth high five. Now, this might be a little bit more difficult because you know how slow he is. So what he does, and what we can do together, is actually do a sloth high five. Way to go, Sylvester. Did you see it? Sylvester has that superpower of being super slow. You can do a super slow walk. You can do all these fun things with Sylvester. He can give you more ideas. You could do a Sylvester breathing. This is another fun one, if you could see it. And I'll show you. We'll do it together, Sylvester and I. So sometimes we do a breathing where we inhale super slow, and then we exhale. Super fun. Now, some kids don't like sloth, so that's okay. So maybe Sylvester is not the friend for them. Maybe they like, let's see, a snake. So you could do a snake breath, and that could be the way that you anchor yourself. So, and this will be one more I'll give after that. And so this one is, you take a deep breath in, and then you exhale like a snake. All right, I'm going to do one more, and this is a classic. I love this one. Smelling the flowers and blowing out the candles. This helps kids really kind of visualize what it's like. So here's my flowers. Here's my candles. I smell the flowers, and I blow out the candles. Smell the flowers. Blow out the candles. Now, let's be honest. Isn't this more fun than if you go to your child, calm down, take a deep breath? That's not fun, and that's not mindful, and that sounds a little judgy, but this just makes it fun so you can interact with your kids. So I hope you had fun with mindfulness with kids. Oh, that's not what I called it. It's actually called Helping Children Build Mindfulness. And I loved having you here. Enjoy. Use your creativity. Bye.